Great.
You like my Hobbit home I found here?
I I,
That's
lo-
nice.
I love the Hobbit home in the back here. All right. Well, I actually clicked the live button now, and we're live once again. My community knows this. I have been, man. You think I would have it down by now? I've done a handful of AMAs, but man, I don't know what it is. I think it's because you're using OBS Studio, you're using YouTube. It's just like, man, I keep screwing up. So sorry, guys. We're here with Short Fuse Gaming. It's Dr. Wookie. I apologize for the 5-minute delay while we were chatting about Short Fuse Games and what they were doing and what they're building here. So, Chris is going to have to rehash a little bit. Maybe he'll even narrow it down a bit this time. But you guys know these two folks if you've been involved with Gala at all. They were helping build, Vox, Vexy. I was mentioning that I really like these guys because they were very communicative in Discord. I was able to really always just reach out, and they were all over bugs, fixing bugs right away, really interacting with us and what, the community is wanting, which I feel like in so many Web3 areas or gaming or even Gala in general, when the community says like, "Hey, this is what we want," "Hey, this is what we want," it's what we want, right? And it's like if you're building a game that people want, we're gonna play it, right, rather than go in a different direction. And yeah, I do feel bad for you guys because the whole community's seen it throughout the Gala ecosystem about just like turn left, turn right, squirrel, dog, switch this, switch that, which obviously always really interrupts any kind of development, right? When you have a project you're going for, and then all of a sudden they would say, we want to scrap this and now just go do something new. And it looks really bad to the community because then it's like, makes it look like you haven't been doing anything at all when in reality maybe you even had a freaking demo ready, and then now they're like, hey, we're gonna stop and move on. Yeah, I know a few things in the background, some of the folks I talked to previously, but as you can tell with my comments here, but you guys have moved on, and as you were saying earlier, you guys have an excellent team, and so you wanted to keep everybody together and really go a new direction of what you're able to build. So I'll let you continue on with that. And if you guys want to introduce yourselves, feel free to as well.
Yeah. I'll go this time. Yeah. So I'm Matt. I guess I'm head of studio, and lead developer for Short Fuse. I was formerly the lead developer for Vox, Vexy. Um, yeah, I've been doing this for 20 years, amazingly.
And I'm Chris Siegel. I'm the executive producer, and I've been doing this even longer than that. I've been in games since 1998. Started cut my teeth on Thief, and then spent a lot of time on a couple of MMOs, Dungeons and Dragons Online and Lord of the Rings Online. And then I've done a bunch of scattered indie projects here and there. This will actually be my fourth startup. So,
And last.
and last, let's hope, man. Let's hope, right?
There we go.
So I'm sure you guys know some of the sad story, but Gala let us go in December, and we looked at our team and we were like, we're not done yet. This is a great team, and if anybody's ever been part of a good team, it's you don't want to lose that. That's magic, right? The 2004 Red Sox, you know the you don't want to break that up. And so we decided we are going to give it a shot. I mean, I did not have start own company on the on the bucket list here, but again, this team's so good, it was like we have to give it a shot.
Yeah, when you're making magic, you don't want to stop. And the cool thing is we have everything we needed. I mean, it was a pretty short conversation between me and Chris when we heard the news. It's like, okay, if we were to start this, we have an entire team. We have art, we have animation, we have tech art and development. We can just keep doing what we're doing in a different place.
And nobody telling us what the next project will be.
Yep.
And let's be clear, there's certain things that we learned at Gala, being the Web3 stuff, or some lessons that I learned on the development front of if you told me 3 years ago to do pixelated characters, I would have laughed at you. I came out of semi-realism, yada yada. And I am so sold on the voxel look because it doesn't slow down development, and we can crank out units and items and all that stuff faster than anything I've ever seen in the industry.
Nice.
I mean, we got to, the one thing that we did get is that we've done it once already, right? So like getting all that stood up and running again with our own spin on it, like our dudes have elbows and knees and facial expressions and noses, and we kind of went even one step beyond what Vexy was doing. Um, but yeah, I mean, so it's like there's a lot of things that would take a company a while to get stood up that we've already got done, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think with Web3, everybody knows, or a lot of people know what they want and what they want to see with like the Web3 component of games, right?
Mhm.
So, for me, I've been playing a bunch of Path Exile 2 lately, right? So Diablo
But
like game. My point being that marketplace is freaking hot. And what I mean by that is this is us really literally selling, items, in-game items for, in-game currency, yada yada yada. And it just proves that, Web3 and something like this would be easily attainable with the right game, the right, build, economy, everything else. And as everybody always says, right, is we're looking for a game that's fun to play, right? And I've already been looking at a bunch of the stuff you guys have been posting, so I'm real curious to see if you guys have a pretty definitive view of where you guys are trying to go, with the current game and everything.
yeah, we're kind of focused on the non-MMO RPG space, so JRPGs, American RPGs, kind of more story-driven, more team-based, more tactical. That's kind of the world that we live in, and kind of with the world that our group is kind of familiar with. Our one of our other developers, he's built 3 of these things, so we kind of have some experience.
And these videos and images you posted, I'm scrolling through some of them now. Are these like in-game renders or
Yes,
okay,
that's all in engine. And
cool.
because I'm bad at editing, a lot of them even have like the windows and the top bar still cropped in because I can't be bothered.
But that's also part of our vibe. We want you guys to see, behind the scenes a bit as we're going, right? Like, it's always been weird being in the game space that like we treat our stuff like we're, part of the NSA. And it's like it's just a video game, guys. Like I'm perfectly happy to share. And like you said, Wookie, with this space is like I want the feedback of like we hate that. Oh, or that's awesome, right? Like we want that because I don't want to spend 6 months on something that people aren't liking, right? And there's going to be things that are going to be divisive, like camera angles and whatever it is that, we're going to make a call as professional developers, right? Um, but we definitely want to be like, hearing like, you know,
Did I?
Do we lose him?
Oh, we lost him. I thought I messed something up. I was on the Discord here. I clicked play on a video on one of the little short clips, and he went dead. I was like, oh, did I
we
did
would,
I did I knock him out? Yeah,
yeah,
he.
we'll get him back. But where he was going effectively is that we want community feedback at every step of the way, and if that means showing you guys the ugly, if it means showing you 4 different prototypes, demos are going to be all over the place. That's the goal. The goal is for the community to say what they want, just like what you were kind of hinting at. People know what they want to play, and so if we make a good game that people want to play first, the the blockchain stuff will take care of itself.
Voxelcopters. People were joking in chat there that the voxelcopters are circling
We
my
got him.
house because of the game leaks.
We got him.
We got him. So with like what we're seeing so far right now is kind of this third person dungeon crawler type
Yeah,
video. Is this going to be turn based kind of fighting or I don't know what the other term
yeah.
would
So
be.
we're playing with kind of both. The idea right now, because you always start sort of with combat anytime you build a game, is we're trying to test out what it would feel like to be multiplayer, turn-based, and how fun that would be. Uh, it's been done before, kind of. The old Final Fantasy games did
Right.
it,
Right.
but it wasn't really. There wasn't engagement. So we're trying to see what that feels like if we really put a modern spin on multiplayer with it. Um, and then from there, we don't know. We're playing around with 7 different camera angles, and yeah, just trying to get a feel for it.
Yeah, kind of feeling it out. Yeah, I remember
We,
the old Final Fantasy VII. Running around and,
mhm,
and going into the battles turn based. Um,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I had mentioned, and I had even mentioned this to, Gala way back when is, and of course, like it's easier for people to say, like, hey, I think this would be a good idea, or I would love this, or my kids would play the crap out of XYZ. Is, it's easy for me to say that. Again, I'm not a developer. I don't know the time, the commitment, the work, the difficulty, the struggles, all that fun stuff. But I just remember seeing like the Minecraft Dungeons thing kind of come out, and then they stopped it, and I don't actually know why. Hey, he's back.
I I don't understand that either because they had, millions of players.
Yeah,
And one day they just made the decision to cut the servers. Chris, from Minecraft Dungeons,
Mm.
because
one of the worst
because
decisions
that
in
that
games.
was that was one of the things that I was like really pitching and pushing, at Gal and stuff. Is I was like, why don't you just make a voxel dungeons type game? I mean,
Yeah.
at least in my opinion, like I personally think that would be crazy fun. My kids would play the crap out of it, and we know
Hmm.
so much money comes from kids because then they take my credit card and they buy whatever. You know what I mean? Like like my kid was begging for Apex Legends skins the other day. You know what I mean? It's like that's what they want for
Yep.
their birthday. Blah blah blah. Disposable
Yep.
income. And
Yep.
I was just thinking about how, like, if Minecraft Dungeons had a good, or the Voxel Dungeons had a good flow to it and a good kind of grind, and for me at least, it's all about the rarity. Just like I was mentioning
Absolutely.
Path Exile 2, like you have a 0.00001% chance of getting, some crazy freaking, rare thing. Like that is fun. It is
Yeah.
fun to grind and try to, get that chance. And, I think that's one thing that people are excited about, like Mirandus, and what that was going to be. And so I think the Web3 world's just waiting for, some great games like that.
Yeah. And that and I'm gonna repeat myself here. That's kind of our approach is build a great game people want to play, and then attach the Web3 to it. Not start Web3 and then just try to put together a video game because we need to.
Right.
Right. Right. Because I mean, like a lot of what in the previous thing that made everything slow was, they weren't the the NFTs were not made for a game. Like that all had to be done. We're game ground up,
Right.
right? And that's just going to make our lives faster and a lot easier going forward, right? We're planning out our whole ecosystem around gameplay, and so I, if you buy one of our character NFTs, we'll promise to you right now that it will be usable in every game we ever make,
Yeah.
because that's
Exactly.
why we do the work, frankly, right?
Yeah.
Um, but also, what the whole, like all I keep hearing in this space is utility, 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 and I haven't seen it happen too much yet, but we want to make sure that our stuff works across our ecosystem, and frankly, if there's anybody listening out there, we're happy to do that with your NFTs too.
Hmm.
Like we, again, our strength is character art. So you know you got characters, we can turn those into our style art in our games if we wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at these characters right now and some of their animations, and honestly, like all the art, all the animations, it already looks great, right? I mean, I'm really excited
Yep.
just what you guys have already done in a couple months, time here. With is this an alligator crocodile guy, and then
Why not?
Yes.
Already is.
the
Yeah,
bear guy,
I like that, dude.
all these cool classes, I guess is what I would call them. I don't know what they're gonna end up being, but um, yeah, I mean everything's looking really good already. What you guys have going on,
And
um,
And so again, you know, like if we're going to go down this RPG route, one of the things that we've been fooling around with is, look, they're going to be a bunch of NFT characters, right? And we don't want to lock those into a play style, right? If you have, you know, if you have the cowboy guy, that doesn't mean that he has to be a sharpshooter, right? Like we're going to
Yeah.
allow you to come in and be like, no, he's going to be a cowboy, but he's going to use swords, right? We're cool with that. Like, you know, do what you want, play what you want. But that choice isn't like hard coded into the NFT, right?
Yeah, exactly. Weapon determines or tool determines the class, not the character.
Right.
So just because he has a wizard's robe and a wizard's hat doesn't mean he can't carry a bow.
Right.
That's just, I'm very much against that philosophy that you're locked into one.
And you know, and like one of the things that we're looking at is like skill tree wise, like we're doing a lot of North Star to like Final Fantasy VI, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so skill tree wise, I totally want to do some crazy mana tree, kind of like Path of Exile, right?
Yeah.
Not that extreme, because that's crazy town. But that's the idea, is that like if, yeah, you could start as, you know, as a fighter, but you can totally gravitate over to something else, like by
Mm-hmm.
manipulating the tree. I always enjoy that, like having to put some thought, getting a little puzzle to solve with my skills, right? It's
Yeah.
always kind of fun.
Sorry, I'm quiet. I'm just clicking through, some of these things showing people,
Yeah.
which it all looks really cool. So I guess, one of the things that would come up for questions, right, is Gala cut you guys. So obviously, how are we going to kind of do, I guess, the funding? How are you guys doing right now? Obviously, you guys have been working for a couple of months here. What's kind of the plan and progression with everything?
Yeah. So funding wise, we aren't looking for VCs right now. We're sort of going to self fund through sales, through art, through all that. Kind of do it ourselves. We have a sale coming up that we just announced in our Discord, coming up soon, um, where we're going to be producing something that it's a token node combination, is what I'm going to say. Um, you get rewards based on your activity, but you don't have to host the server. There's no server cost to you. So that's kind of one of our big pushes for the end of this month.
Cool. Somebody was asking in the chat, will there be advanced classes where you start off as something to be able to unlock advanced versions?
Absolutely. So weapons will have because again, our class system is based on the weapon you use. Our weapons will have a mastery system tied to them. So you will be able to get mastery, let's just say level 3 in a sword, and eventually you could train up to get mastery level 3 in a bow. You can kind of cross as much as you want. That's the whole idea, is true player freedom.
Yeah. I mean, I really do love the huge skill trees, because it's like you just keep having this desire to just get one more level, one more point to, just get a little bit stronger and keep progressing.
Mm-hmm.
Fill it all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get all the bonuses and everything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then how many guys of you guys are working on this right now?
So we've got our animator, our tech artist, 2 developers, game designers. So we're at
We're at 8.
6 people,
I thought we were at
8,
8 if it includes us.
8. Yeah, that sounds about right.
You got to include
So
yourself, of course, right?
yeah, yeah. So we've got a functional team. 8 sounds right. Um, and like I said, it's wonderful because it's all in house. I don't have to go to another company to say, hey, can you draw me this? I don't have to find an animator. I don't have to find a tech artist who's going to work in engine. We already have that. We're full self service, which also leads to if you have a project that you want developed for you, we are happy to do so. We would love to talk to you about doing some outside work as well.
And so with I know you're able to, produce characters and stuff like, pretty quickly and stuff. How are the levels and level creation?
We're in an exploration right now.
Yeah.
That's going to come down to how do we want the camera, and that'll dictate how we end up building. But um, that particular piece, I'm not totally worried about. Like, we're gonna, because we're aiming at old school, we're gonna work off of a grid system. It won't be, it won't be, it won't be a list like if we're building a sandbox open world game, right? Um, so yeah, I'm not particularly worried about it.
Yeah, it's pretty much anyone on our team could go into engine and be effective. That's kind of the cool thing again about this team is we spent 2 years together. We spent 2 years cross training each other, and that was a big goal for the Vox team, Vexy team, because we kind of had to be self sufficient. So if I was sick one day, I needed somebody else who could go right back in code, or if our UI guy was sick, someone had to step in engine and build some UI. Like, so we just kind of cover for each other.
Yeah. So with the nodes, I guess, have you guys thought about the economy at all already, or any like the tokenomic stuff?
Yeah, I'm not ready to discuss it, but yes, there's a plan around that already.
Nice.
We are going to have our own low cap token. Um, it's going to be more like a true gaming token, where it's more about using it in game and getting rewards for using it in game than it is hoarding it.
Right.
That's not the token is not the focus of our revenue.
Well, it sounds like the kitty cat has something to say.
Yeah, I actually just called one of my kids to get him out of here.
Mowing,
Sorry, he's
mowing
Luke.
away.
So
No,
you're Chewie, he's Luke. I have Leia.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
oh, I have a Han Solo over here.
My animals are loud all the time, all day long, for sure. Any Easter eggs for Vox holders?
Um, not at the moment. I'm trying to not go that route and sort of play in that sandbox, but
Yeah,
eventually maybe.
yeah. Always trying to keep the separation and stuff, right?
At,
Yeah.
at least right now, like we we like those guys and we wish them luck. There's some great people over there. But right now, I think we want to kind of build our own ecosystem and start with fixing our own house before we go and start rewarding other people and diving into other communities.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely, being separate. Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
like the potion shop. I think looks fantastic. I think it looks super cool. I love the concept here and the idea of it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's sort of the fun thing right now. We get to just explore. So literally, Chris or I will come on in the morning and be like, "What would this look like in our world?" Or what if this happened? What do we do now? So it's really fun. The exploration phase is one of the best.
And we're lucky is that we've got, our animators ridiculously good.
Really
And
good.
as you can see, it's like if you just go through the walk cycles alone, right? It's like there's the pirate that's kind of got the swagger going on, and then the skeleton is doing a little drag like thing. Like he whipped those out in a day, right? Like, and I'm like, ship them, right? They're good enough quality to be in game, like, um, and he's always like that. He's always got a little bit of a Looney Tunes feel to his stuff, which is just fantastic. It just really
Yeah, it's
works
great.
for the style. It's got to be a little exaggerated. It's got to be a little over the top. And and the same thing with our tech artist is like he's a madman. Um, he does things that I don't even know what he's doing, but it makes it look better the next day. So
Yeah, yeah. He can dive in engine and adjust UVs and all of a sudden the thing is beautiful. Like he polishes every day.
yeah.
I can't wait to see some of the some death animations too. How you guys are gonna have
Yeah,
them? either fall apart or die. That'll be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it depends on the character, right? So that's the cool thing is we can do it kind of per model. Like the skeleton can fall apart into a pile of bones, and
Right, right.
the cowboy can do kind of the Western exaggerated death, and we can have all sorts of fun with that.
Yeah, I don't think it's in what we showed you, Wookie, but there was an animation going around of like a special attack for the Western guy, for a pistol user. That was it was pretty awesome. It's not quite done yet, but it was pretty awesome. It was like it felt almost like Kill Bill esque, like bam,
Yeah,
bam, bam. Right. It was
Yeah.
very, very slick.
That's super cool.
actually
Yeah, I
try to
think
see
you
if I can
guys
find.
already have a pretty little tight group community here, so that'll be always ready to play and test anything for for everybody. Um, yeah, I'm really excited to see kind of how you guys progress with it and what I guess what viewpoint we fall into with during your exploration phase and stuff. Because I think with such great animations and stuff like that, it's just like I want to see it all, from like whether that's person or whatnot. So, versus like a first person kind of thing. But yeah, I'm ready at any time to do some dungeon crawling. I don't know if
Absolutely.
you guys have read that book at all, Dungeon Crawler Carl. Have you heard
Mm-mm.
that one before?
No, I've heard about it though. I
Yeah,
know you
yeah.
have.
You
Yeah.
guys should give it a read. You two would really like it. It is really really good. um, but yeah, I'm definitely excited to kind of see how you guys keep progressing. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. What I guess what else have we kind of missed or that we want to kind of mention?
I think we've covered it all, but I guess just kind of keep rolling with us, help us build, like keep working with us. It's super fun, and it's only really fun when the community's involved. When the community's hopping, and we're all grinding, it can be a really great time. Kind of motivates us.
Yeah, as somebody who came out of the MMO area, I learned pretty quickly that community matters way more than marketing budget or any of the other stuff, right? It's these are your customers. We have a unique ability of having a direct pipeline to them, and we all become friendly. And I will say that like the Dungeons and Dragons online community was a hive of scum and villainy. Sorry, folks, but you were. Um, and this community that for that we've been dealing with for the past 2 years, and the ones that have followed us, have been awesome. And you know, nobody's being adversarial or mean or it's been very refreshing, frankly.
We'll see when the game comes out.
Well, sure, but
No, we got good community around for sure.
Yeah, we do.
That really cares about everything and really want to help. So many people would want to help and give ideas and give anything. I think it's really cool that you're able to hop somewhere and ask a question and get replies from folks. On
Always.
what they think, how they feel. All that stuff. I'm always like that too. I'm like free to give advice, information about X, Y, Z. Yeah, definitely excited to kind of see where this goes. And then, of course, we'll be staying tuned for whenever we get to the node drop, the tokenomics, the roadmap, all that kind of fun stuff as we progress forward as well.
Yeah, that should be dropping soon.
very soon. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I guess one thing I wanted to mention is that this is the first game. As we are building a studio here, so we expect to build more and more and more. So even if the first one isn't your vibe for whatever reason, we've got more coming. Chris and I have about 12 different game designs
If not
combined.
more. If not more.
So we're ready to build.
Nice. Yeah, I think everybody's ready to play, and level up their stats and level this up and grind for, XYZ loot and all that fun stuff,
Yep.
At least, for me, the RNG is always the addictive component,
Absolutely.
is thinking like maybe I'll be the one, out of however many that finally gets this drop or something,
Hit that dice roll.
and seeing that secondary marketplace type thing kind of going live.
Yep.
Now, I know you guys are building, the game. That's a focus. Obviously, definitely should be.
Mhm.
Have you guys considered or already thought about the chain or where you want to go with that? Have you thought about
Yeah.
AVAX? I thought I saw AVAX somewhere, but
Yeah. So after a lot, I probably spent a month talking to different chains and different communities. We have chosen Avalanche. Um, it just seems like the most kind of gaming focused community. And I've had good vibes every time I've talked to them. So yeah, we will be building on Avalanche.
nice, nice. Yeah, I think one of the things that people are doing wrong is, like you said, trying to build the entire game on blockchain versus
Hmm.
building the game, right? And then blockchain just verifies, I don't know, a few assets or whatever, or maybe even have it linked up to where it's like a chain link RNG, VRF, whatever, for when a
Mhm.
boss dies, right? When the boss is
Yep.
killed, maybe that's a single block instead of like
Exactly.
everything being, blockchain transaction versus more of a mix between database, with blockchain
Yeah.
verifiable, I don't know, items, NFTs, whatever, because I think killing or dungeon crawling for NFTs would be pretty sick too, right? Like,
Yeah.
when you get that
Absolutely.
drop, there you go, there it is on chain, it's yours, congrats, which I think would just be so freaking cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's that. It's also people have to be flexible. You have to build a back end that could support like, okay, this is going into your database, but what if it wasn't tomorrow? Like you just have to have those patterns in your head to be able to say, okay, we can build it. It's software. Soft meaning malleable. It's not hardware. Like we don't have those constraints. So just building in a way that makes sense for flexibility. And then of course just building the game first. Make a fun game that
Yeah,
doesn't touch the chain at all. And then see where that takes you.
yeah.
Sorry, that's my nerd thing.
No. I agree with all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. No,
My
it's
nerd came out for a second.
no, it's you're totally right. Like I mean, so many people have said before, just make fun games. You know,
Make fun games.
first and foremost. And
And
everything can come after.
that part is so hard. Making something that people will enjoy is so hard. And why add the stress of managing the chain up front as well? Like stuff it all in the database and then move stuff out to the chain as you can.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's definitely a smarter direction, smarter way to go with everything for sure.
Yeah, at the end of every project, I always say I'm going to do something simple next time, like make a movie or write a book.
It's
Games
true.
games are not easy, and you might, on the surface they look like they are, but it's like the number of layers that you have to deal with, um, and basically then you throw in the monkey wrench of the player in everything you do. It just, you know, it's no matter how good you are, it's always a bit of a rickety mess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
But yeah, you guys have folks in the comments that are ready to play already, so
Sweet.
we will await the first test.
Hopefully not too long. We build fast. It's part of the reason why we're named Short Fuse. We build fast, we burn bright.
I thought that was my
Well,
that
that
was my
too.
grumpy nature.
That too. That too.
Actually, if you want to know, there is an Easter egg in the name, but I'll never divulge what it is.
Yeah, that's not.
Oh,
That is
really?
that is definitely yeah.
I will. Yeah, I might have to take a look now.
Why did you let that out of the bag?
Yeah, you might have to think on that one a little bit.
Yeah. I definitely will. I like looking for stuff like that. So we'll see. Finding those skulls on Halo and Halo 2 and stuff.
Yep.
It's a fun part. So
Yep.
yeah. Anything last words here?
Uh, Go ahead.
Follow us. Give us a follow.
Oh yeah, I got the
Give us a
Discord
shout on
link down
Discord.
below in the description.
Great.
Give it a clicky click. Jump in their
Yeah,
Discord so you can
please.
follow along with the progression of everything.
Please, we love talking to people. I will, even as I'm coding, as I'm an engine, I love talking to the community. I think it's such a valuable source of information. And we have a lot of fun in there anyway.
Yeah, stay tuned. That's what I got.
Stay
Is
tuned.
we're gonna be pretty transparent on building this thing. Um, you know, but come
Oh,
along with the actual journey of watching a game get built.
oh, should we show the thing we're working on, Chris?
Which one?
Should we drop the new character?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to share it?
Here, I do. I'm gonna drop it in that marketing channel. Uh, this isn't final, but a little something,
A little something for you, man.
a little something for you. Upload. Hopefully you see
Oh
that in the
my
2+
god.
channel.
Wow. Look, it's a Yeti. It's a Yeti. That's what we'll say. It's a
Yep.
Yeti.
That's what we'll say.
Yeah, please.
Healing. Absolutely. That is so sick.
So we'll definitely make that playable in game
So
for
that'll
you.
be playable in the game,
That is so freaking
and
cool.
we'll make it an NFT.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. That's
But
incredible.
again, that's a request from yesterday, right? That's how quickly
Yep.
these things get whipped around.
Dang. That's awesome. Thanks for pumping that out, guys. That's so cool.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to get you we'll have to get him a 3D printed one too.
Right.
Yeah, but I'll definitely be covering everything as we progress, especially when we get like the roadmap and the tokenomics and some more of that node info. Definitely put together some stuff, some short videos for folks so they can really kind of follow along. But yeah, I mean, I really am. I'm excited. I don't know. I've been asking for this for a while, like just a fun voxel type dungeon crawler game. Like I said, my kids, it's easy to get them to play anything, right? I mean, I threw up, Walking Dead on the computer, and my kids will play it, and then the next day they'll say, "Dad, can we play that with you?" You know what I mean? My kid
Yep.
wanted to play Spider Tanks, and I had to tell him, like, "Sorry, dude, server's down. You don't know what that means because you're 6 years old." But you know what I mean? Like, with the right marketing too, and the right build, the gameplay. I mean, you start getting kids in there, and you start getting the numbers up, you start getting the flow going. Yeah, just be
I
excited.
just got this from my animator. He literally just sent this to me right now in that 2+ channel.
No,
He's so good.
Look at that walk.
Elliot's so good. Shout out to Elliot. He's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah, there's another one that he did earlier with you shooting lightning bolts. I don't know where that ended up, but you do like a
nice
my
sorcerer
arm, but-
wizard build.
yeah.
That's super
But
cool. But yeah, guys, definitely jump in that Discord if you haven't already. Follow along with these guys. I think everything's small and tight right now, but I think we're gonna grow. We're gonna grow.
Thanks,
that's
man.
the hope.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. So I will be around. That's for sure.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Well, I'll let you go. Thanks so much for coming on, chatting a bit, having a nice conversation, and definitely looking forward to just everything that we progress with.
All right.
Yeah, thank
Thanks
you.
for having us, Wiki.
All right, guys. You take care.
Peace.
All right.